All right, peace and much love. Zin Uru here. Yes, indeed. Just wanted to take a moment to let the spirit flow, let the words go, release them out of the soul. And there's a lot on my mind, a lot on everybody's mind, a lot to talk about. But, I've got some actual notes that I wrote down. This time got a passage from the Gospel of Hip Hop I'm definitely going to read. But I just kind of want to see where everything goes. Let's light some Palo Santo, put a little prayers up in the air just for God's guidance. Grateful for God's protection over our lives, the protections that we don't see. And that smells good. This lighter's getting really low, but there we go. Now we got the flame going. Yeah. All right. This is a prayer blessing for everybody watching this video right now. Just knowing that we're all here together in one spirit across all time and space. Doesn't matter when you're seeing this video, but the fact is that you're here with me now if you're watching this video whenever. So word up on that. Yeah, take some of that Palo Santo. Let me stage myself off, actually. It's always a good idea to, well, it's not stage, it's Palo Santo. It's always good to cleanse one's own aura field first. Get every part of you first. Get the hair, get the... Inhale that, put some in the eyes. Oh yeah, in the ears. There we go. Got my aura cleansed now. Oh, there's something on my shoulder there. Let go of that. All right, so it's always a good idea to cleanse yourself first before you cleanse somebody else. There, take some of that Palo Santo in. Oh yeah, smells good, huh? You already know. If you don't got Palo Santo, burn a little something right now. If you got something, some sage or some incense or some Palo Santo or some sweetgrass, some cedar, whatever you've got, some essential oils, whatever it is that you've got that you could burn right now, go ahead and do that. I'm just going to set that down, this little thing, and just kind of let it burn in here for a minute. That just kind of sets the mood for myself. Alters my consciousness. So anyway, first things first, just put up a new video from the mighty Sun One. Him and I have been working on this video called You Will Never Forget. It's a song that he recorded, and we've been working on this video for a good few weeks now, maybe a month at least, just collecting all the different images that you see of all the victims of police brutality, and also all the images of the civil rights movement, of the Black Power movement, and also of the Underground Railroad, the abolitionist movement as well. These are our ancestors. No matter what color skin you are, the civil rights, abolitionist movement, if you're hip hop, these are the direct ancestors, so they get a good shout out, a good solid shout out in the video. And then him and I were in Washington, D.C. less than a week ago. Let's see, today is Sunday night. So yeah, it was last Saturday night. So just a week ago, we were in Washington, D.C. Filming at nighttime with the whole thing lit up. Looks like we had $1 million film crew out there. And really we did, because him and I are superhuman beings. And we just created one of the dopest videos, one of the greatest videos of all time. And I say that with all humility. First, I can say that because it's not my track. It is my track in spirit, but it's my good brother's track. And, he's just really pouring his heart out in that track and drawing attention to a reality that a lot of people have forgotten about. A lot of people have forgotten about, Mike Brown and Freddie Gray and Tamir Rice and Sandra Bland and all these young people whose lives were cut short by police brutality. And I believe that, part of that's the PSYOP, the desensitization of our psyche, of what we come to expect from the police. And that's kind of where I'm going to go in a minute here. But we're going to circle back around now. I'm going to talk about this current world catastrophe that we're witnessing, offer a different perspective than the one that you're hearing anywhere else, including on so-called conspiracy sites and whatnot. And we're going to go full around. I'm going to talk a little story about the experience shooting the video, standing where Martin Luther King stood, the spiritual experience there, and really what God is speaking to my soul through all of this, So we're going to go full circle with this talk. I don't know how long it's going to be. It's probably going to be a long one. So If you got nothing better to do, take it in, take it in, take it in. Word up. Everybody's stuck at home right now. You're told by the big parent government not to go outside, that the world is so dangerous right now, that this invisible virus is going to wipe out everybody. So you need to stay inside, shut the fuck up, and do the fuck what you're told. That's the message. Anybody who speaks out against it, videos are being censored on YouTube at an alarming rate. There's been I don't know if you've uploaded any content in the last couple days, they are warning you that they don't have the staff anymore to go over the videos, so that AI is going to be going over the videos and improving and just wiping people's channels out, wiping out stations. And no matter what you think of Alex Jones, that was just the beginning. He was the biggest voice of a certain movement where ideas that people call conspiracy theories get out. They shut his ass down. It's not because of the Sandy Hook bullshit that he was talking about. They've been wanting to shut his ass down for a minute. And like I said, regardless of what you think about him, censorship is in full effect right now in the United States of America, and it's only going to be more censored and more censored. There's been this great distraction, the greatest distraction in the history of the world, and his name is Donald Trump. He's a make-believe actor playing a character. I've talked about this many times. He's a make-believe actor. He's a character. He's playing a role. You're supposed to hate him. They need you to hate him, or they need you to love him. They've got it all lined up, so no matter if you love him or hate him, you're doing exactly what they want you to do with his character. And to me, the proof is that he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, the World Wrestling Hall of Fame. We know wrestling is fake. We know Donald Trump is fake. And I know this whole outbreak is fucking fake. Now, I'm sorry for the people who are dying. I don't know what the actual numbers are. I don't believe shit that the government says. I don't know how anybody could believe a word that comes out of their lying mouths. How can you believe anything the government or the media says? They've done nothing but lie. And the history books that you can go back and look at history and see how they lied at every turn, at every juncture. Every president we ever had lied. Every one of them. Every single president we ever had lied. Every single media lied. There's always something alternative. Now, back in the early days of 9/11, I knew it was an inside job right away. Like when it was happening, I had already read Behold the Pale Horse from William Cooper. So you might be saying, oh, Zin, who are you to talk about this stuff? Well, I've been studying this. I got a copy of Behold the Pale Horse. I first read a copy of it back in 94. Got my first copy in 98, and this is long before the internet. And have read everything since, seen everything, every video. And you know, do I believe everything? No. Do I believe what the government says? No. So you know, I only believe what God shows me, what my heart is, and that's hip hop. That's hip hop. I believe what Minister Sun One and myself just did, which is make the dopest video in a time of need. I believe in God. I believe in hip hop. I believe in myself, my source energy, life force. You feel me? I believe in who I really am. I'm a living, awakened being, fully awakened and fully aware. So whatever everybody else is going through, I'm sorry for that. You know, if people are getting sick from this so-called virus, hey, sorry if you've lost family members or if anybody's sick, but people used to believe 9/11 really happened. They used to believe that the official story, which was happening while the second tower was falling, they were already saying Bin Laden did it. They had already put all these pieces into place. They had explosives put into the World Trade Center. Everybody knows no plane hit that shit. That shit just went down like a controlled demolition. Same with Building 7. They hit the Pentagon. They opened up the Pinnacle. For those of you who know the science of magic, the pentagram, the Pentagon is a deep symbol of Satan itself, of the force that they call Satan itself, the Shaitan. They pierced that with what looks like a missile. I mean, all that 9/11 shit. But remember, when it first came out, everybody believed the official story, or most people believed the official story, that some dudes from Iraq had hijacked planes with box cutters and expertly piloted the planes into the Twin Towers. Somehow the entire national defense system wasn't tracking these with all their radar technology. Somehow they did all this, just they don't know what happened. We don't know. Nobody got fired. Like if you work at a job and the place gets robbed by some dumb shit because you leave the security station on a man, like the whole management company is going to get fired. Nobody got fired after 9/11 because it was done what was supposed to be done. It was a controlled event. They knew it had been planned from the time the towers were built, and before that it was planned. So we're dealing with people who are looking ahead 1,000 years ahead. I say that one of my songs on the Liberator album that the reissue's coming out here in a minute. That they 1,000 years ahead of you. Hear what I speak. Most of us can't see beyond next week. It's truth. So when 9/11 happened, everybody was like, "Oh, we're under attack by Iraq, and these terrorists are trying to get us with box cutters. They can take over the world with box cutters and airplanes. Here's our freedom. Keep us under surveillance, government. Anything, government. Please help us, government. We're so afraid without you. We need you, government. We need you. Even though we feel we hate you, we still want you and love you." It's a fucking abusive relationship. If you want to understand your relationship with the government, check out narcissism, which is the government, and empaths, which is you. Most people are empathetic, and the government plays on our empathy and our sympathies and our parasympathetic nerve system. That's really what the media and the government and all this fear is designed to do, is play you like a fiddle. Play your parasympathetic nerve system like a fiddle and get you to act and behave the exact way they're telling you to act and behave. Notice that the government, and I've been saying this for a long time too, before this so-called fake ass virus that's out, is that the government would tell people what the fuck to talk about every week. And that's what people talk about, talk about, oh, the scary nuclear war that's going to happen. Talk about it now. Fuck you. Talk about it. Talk about global warming now. Oh, the oceans are rising. Talk about it now. They tell you what the fuck to talk about it and when the fuck to talk about it. So don't believe the hype. That's the message. I only know a few people are really hearing what I'm saying. So, I would like to say that this is going to be the same thing. That this so-called virus is out. I'm not saying that there's not a sickness going out. I'm not saying that people ain't catching something and dying. I'm not saying I know where that came from, but I know there's patents for it. I know nature didn't make it. Nature's not this cruel, all right? With nature, if it was time for Mother Earth to wipe out humanity or wipe out a portion of humanity, she would do it so quick and so effortlessly and so painlessly. No, this whole thing is contrived and man-made. And if it was Mother Nature doing it, it wouldn't be so orchestrated. They wouldn't have all the military in place. They wouldn't have all of these plans in place. They wouldn't have all this surveillance in place. They wouldn't have all these things in place that you're going to see start happening in the next month. And you're going to see, wow, how did that? Like, think about this. Like, churches are shut down. You're not allowed to go pray anymore because you can't have more than 10 people gathering. Now, each state is a little different, but the whole country of the United States and the rest of the world, this is the New World Order. This is the New World Order. All these little events in these different countries have been leading up to this one event that everybody's participating in right now. And everybody's being told the same thing right now. And everybody's feeling the same panic and same fear right now in every country. That's why they're saying, we're more united than ever. We're more together than ever. Oh, it's all by design. All right. It's all by design. That's why there's all these movies already about it and the responses and characters popping up that look just like characters in real life. Now, as like I'm saying with 9/11, everybody knows now that that shit was some bullshit and that the government knew that that was happening. Everybody knows that there was explosions that knocked down the towers, that everybody knows the official story is a fucking lie. And the same thing's going to happen in the future. Everybody's going to know it's a fucking lie. Now let's work from that truth right now. The truth is everybody's going to know in the future that it was a lie. So if we start from that place right now, we can start navigating this lie that we're being told to see the successful outcome, which is our survival, not only our survival, but our actual thrival. There's no reason that you can't be thriving and your family can't be thriving right now. So we want to look at the positives that are happening, which is God's law, which is universal law. And then we want to look at the so-called illusion that's happening, which is man's law, which is temporary, finite. So what we're seeing in the media, what we're seeing on the news, what we're hearing from the governments of the world, that's finite. That's man's law. That's man's response. And it's important to know that because you're directly involved and so is your family. Like martial law is already enacted. Like here in the United States and in your country too, wherever you're at, it's already martial law. They're not going to come out and say, all right, we declare martial law. If they do, it's already been set up. We're already under martial law. And technically, we're always under martial law. What is a marshal? A marshal is a police officer. It's a government military man with a gun who's allowed to shoot you for getting out of line and kill you. That's what martial law is. So we're always under that with the threat of police violence. Look at the video we just put out. You will never forget. Son One just put it out. I just shot the video. He edited up the live video. We gathered all the information. I edited up the picture video that goes with it. That's martial law. When the cops have been allowed to shoot black youth with no consequences. That's been martial law. All right. So now they're just squeezing a little tighter. They're just squeezing a little tighter, huh? Letting you know who the fuck is boss. Wanting you to get back to, well, we just want back to normal. We just want our passive slavery back. We don't really like to know this shit. We like to turn a blind eye, and go to Starbucks and go to our favorite restaurant and get fat and eat whatever bullshit we want and watch Netflix and go to our fucking slave job that we fucking hate. Deep in our heart, we hate going to this work. But because you've gouged the prices up so high for the cost of living, we're just thankful to have this job that we don't like so we can feed our kids that we don't get to see. It's fucking crazy. And that's what people are clamoring back for. They want to get back to normalcy. They want to get back to getting up and fucking too early in the morning, waking up their teenage kids to go some bullshit education that doesn't do fucking anything. Like, y'all didn't go to high school? Why are you sending your kids to this shit? Why are you sending your kids to school when you went to school and you know it's bullshit? Like, you know it's bullshit, but you still send your kids to it. How fucked up is that? What are you afraid of? Staying at home? Spending time with your kids? No, everybody's afraid of being homeless. And why are they afraid of being homeless? So they don't get sick and they don't die out in the cold somewhere. So everybody right now with this panic that's going on, there's a part of them, that man-made system that I'm talking about over here, these finite fears, all of this government and media and you being told what the fuck to do and where the fuck to do it and how the fuck to do it. All right, so everybody's over here clamoring for that fear that they're clinging on to right now. Now all of a sudden there's this contrived pandemic going around. And everybody's being told, don't go to your job, don't go to your school, but just don't go buy food or the food's running out. See all these things that are happening to people. So people are like, I just want to get back to normal. I want to be able to go shopping and I want to be able to watch Netflix and go to my job and drive my car and pollute the environment and pretend that I'm doing something by throwing some plastic bottles into a certain bin. And then I'll feel good about myself again. And I'll really be happier that the government's there to run my fucking life for me, even though they don't have my best interest in mind. even though they got plenty of money, even though I shouldn't have to pay rent ever. The house and construction's already been built. It's already been paid for. The supplies are already there. What are you actually renting? What are you actually paying for? I mean, really think about it. What are you paying for? You're not paying for the building materials. You're not paying for the labor. That's already been paid for. What is rough building material of a house? Where we talking about $12,000 to $15,000, $20,000 to build a home? With labor included, the way they prefab these homes and throw them up? And you're still paying for that year after year, $100,000, $200,000, $800,000, $500,000 to $1 million just for a home somewhere? And then you got to go spend all of your life-earned energy as a living being, as a living sovereign miracle of creation. Being a human being is a miracle of creation, like the fact that I'm talking to you, that I've got eyeballs, that I've got a mouth and a voice and these hands to move around. What a fucking miracle. And just because they want to say, oh no, this is just some cosmic accident, just some microns were and neutrons and electrons were shooting around, they exploded, and then some accident happened, and you're this big giant accident. You don't matter because you're a speck of dust in an infinite universe that doesn't even fucking exist, and we're all going to die someday. So fuck it. Go to your work, shut the fuck up, send your kids to our fucking programmed institutional learning facilities, and do your fucking job like we fucking bred you to be. And that's real. And that's what people are fighting back for. That's what people are missing. That's what people are afraid to lose right now. So they're like, oh, we've got the big hammer of the New World Order coming, man. Remember Hitler? Well, this guy Trump, he's just like him, but on fucking steroids. There's the hammer's coming, the hammer's coming, the hammer's coming. Hammer's always coming. Everybody's going to be on lockdown. Forced vaccinations, microchip your ass. Take your DNA, swab you all up. Send you to prison camps. That's what everybody's afraid of. And then we're clinging to this other world. Oh God, I want the freedom of being a consumer. I want the freedom of being a consumer. I love a Red Robin burger. And I love a fucking margarita after I've worked 50 hours of my life, 60 hours of my life, and given it all to a company that doesn't give a fuck or shit about me. A big up to people who have jobs that like build homes and do some shit, but all this paperwork, that's from the devil. Hours and hours of paperwork, hours and hours just to fucking get you've got a injury, or you've got something that can't be taken care of. Oh yeah, you can't get sick if you don't got a job, and if you don't got a good job that has insurance. Most people's jobs don't even have insurance, so they're fucked if they get sick or they get injured. All for just some little quick thing that the doctor can fix with a little pill that costs a half a cent to make. Or a little piece of plastic to fix a hernia. You know, oh, that's $60,000 for your hernia. You did an hour of work. Who gets $60,000 an hour? Well, don't you see all this stuff? All right, well, fuck, man. So half a home payment. Oh, and don't even get started on these fucking college loans people are paying off on bullshit jobs that the college never gave them, that they went and got a $150,000, $200,000 loan that they can't even file bankruptcy on. So you're a fucking credit slave. You're a debt slave. And don't fucking for a minute think that socialism, the way that they're wanting to implement that, don't think for a moment that that shit's real. Go to Europe, man. Like that shit's fucked up over there too. Have you ever been to Europe? I have. Do you know what it's like to pay $10.50, $12 a gallon for gas? I do. Imagine $12 a gallon for gas. And then when you're driving, every 45 minutes to an hour, you're dropping $40 or $50 on toll roads. Have you ever driven through France? I have. Have you ever driven through Spain? I have. It's expensive as shit to travel. Most people in the so-called, you know, especially artists and creative types, they just don't get to travel because it's so fucking expensive. The jobs don't pay for shit out there, and you give half of your income already just so you can have free health care. The government runs everything, and people are like, oh, but the police don't, you know. Here's the thing. You get lulled into a false sense of security in Europe. And I learned this too. First time I went to, back in 2007, I was in Eindhoven, next to Amsterdam. Beautiful city. Cops are out chilling. They got these little teeny electric cars. They got like a little baton on them, no guns. They got like fluorescent shit. They're not bullying people. I was like, oh, that's cool as fuck, man. Look at this. That's how police should be. You know, over here in America, you got fucking paramilitary units with fucking bulletproof vests and machine guns on them in the car and big ass gats, and they come up to you and you can't even see their eyes and they're trying to intimidate you and scare you right away. So you go to Europe and you're like, oh, look at these docile police officers. However, I've seen more military in the streets of Europe than I have ever seen here in the United States of America. For example, going to the airports in Spain and the first time I flew back from Amsterdam too, they have people in fatigues, men and women, big ass women too out there, like crazy berets on, and submachine guns with a banana clip, that they're holding the machine guns at the airport. Okay? There was a protest in France when I was there in 2016. Same thing. Streets covered in military with machine guns, M60s, like the ones that you hold on the back of a truck. Everybody's protesting, but they're ready to start gunning motherfuckers down. In Europe, okay? So don't fucking think for a moment that there's some a socialist European style savior coming to save your dumb ass. All right? No offense to anybody, I'm sorry. But it's just it's an illusion that you have to understand that these people have been planning this shit for a long time. They have all the resources. They make the money that you desperately cling to. They make the rules that you so willingly go, even though it goes against your very soul. You still follow those same directions, those same things. So when something like this happens and they're telling you, stay at home, stay at home, stay at home, subliminally, it's telling you, you're like, I want to get back to work. I want to go back to my comfortable slavery. I love my comfortable slavery. I love my comfortable servitude. I love that you've taken the purpose out of life so you can be more rich, so you can be more wealthy, so you can be more fucking evil and deviant and atheistic. Like, everybody know now that the high levels, they fucking little kids. Everybody knows that now. People have been saying it for years. Everybody knows it now. Epstein hung himself, right? Or did he? We don't know. Who's hanging out with them world leaders of the United States of America and other countries? Files upon files. That shit didn't go anywhere. It didn't stop because they caught one guy. You think that shit stopped because of one guy? I usually don't talk like this because I'm full of hope. But sometimes you got to tell people the bullshit to wake them the fuck out of the spell that they've been put under. And I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of people walking around who's really afraid of information. Really afraid of the truth. And it's not even them that's afraid. It's like a parasite that's clung to them, that's afraid that it's going to be discovered. It's like an alien parasite, right? It's like this alien parasite consciousness that attaches itself to people. Anytime you start speaking the truth, they go, conspiracy theory, I'm afraid, I've been programmed to do this. It's not the person itself. It's not the soul itself. It's the parasite that's afraid it's going to be discovered. I know, I discovered the parasite myself and I removed the motherfucker. I don't need no alien invader on me, some parasitic energy system, some parasitic energy vampire trying to vamp off of my energy, off of my sovereignty, off of my God-given right to life that I've been endowed with, anointed with life, just like you. You've been anointed with the gift of life. It's time to live it. And that's the message here. That's the real message right here. See, because when they got these finite plans, they've got these man-made plans, they've got their reasoning, they've got all of this stuff. Their new world order, That's when the goddess comes in. What's the one thing you know about feminine power? Especially if you're a man, you'll know this. My brothers know what I'm talking about. Women are chaos. That's a good thing. It's a good thing. But women are chaos. Like, have you ever been just chilling with the dudes? Homies just chilling. And then the woman come in and just bring chaos with her for no fucking reason, fucking up all the vibe. Everybody's like, oh, everybody's just chilling. Smoking out. Yeah. The woman, why you didn't do this? Why this? You know, I love women. But y'all are chaos. Yeah, women tell me they're chaos to each other. That's a good thing, all right? Follow me on this. So you've got this new world order, which is masculine, okay? Order is a very masculine. I'm not talking about men and women just either. Because dudes who are in their feminine, way too much will come in and cause chaos in a situation too. They're called bitches when they do. But dudes know when other dudes acting in his feminine, he causing all that chaos and drama that ain't needed. But this is the power of women. And this is the power of the divine feminine. This is the power of the goddess. Chaos. All right? Follow me. Every mother, son, daughter, there's no reason to fear the new world order. We should order the whole new world to pay us. The new world order and the old state chaos. The big brother watching over you is a lie, you see. Hip hop has built its own secret society. Bam. Word. New world order. Thousands of years of planning. We're all gonna make humanity our slave and do what we want while we do nasty things behind closed doors. That's the new world order. All right? Oh, they think they've got it, huh? Oh, they got it. Oh, we got a virus released to the public. We got everybody on lockdown. We got everybody doing what we're telling them to do. Everybody's staying inside. Everybody knows it's good for them. Everybody thinks it's good for them. Watch what happens. It always happens. From the dawning of time, every time these motherfuckers try and do this, all it takes is the goddess in a moment with her chaotic energy to destroy the feeble plans of the New World Order, the so-called Illuminati, the so-called elite, the so-called Anunnaki, whatever the fuck name they're using or giving themselves. And no disrespect to Anunnaki, which is some other shit that people don't even understand. Most folks don't. So you've got this contrived new world order. Now you've got to understand it hasn't happened yet, but watch the chaos of the great spirit, the divine feminine, the Isis, the is that is. Watch for that chaos to come in and ride that wave with the chaos. Don't become the chaos. Be at one with the chaos. These people have evil plans aimed at you and your children. Do you remember that there was slavery? Those people didn't go anywhere. Their grandchildren are alive today, eating off of the money that their grandparents made in slavery, and they think the same way. How long ago was Nazi Germany and Hitler? Not even 100 years ago. Do you think that mentality just disappeared and everybody's good now? Do you know that Coca-Cola had the same ad campaign for the Nazi soldiers as it did for the United States of America the USA soldiers. They had the same ad campaign. Pepsi Cola was really deep in Nazi Germany. Same with the Vatican. Okay? So Coca-Cola didn't go anywhere. The Vatican didn't go anywhere. JP Morgan, the Rothschilds, all these, they didn't go anywhere. And their consciousness and their mentality didn't go anywhere either. People are like, what's wrong with hip hop? Oh, these kids, they don't understand. Look at the mainstream hip hop. Well, I mean, come on. You do realize that the same people who funded Hitler own the radio stations that play that bullshit. You do realize that, don't you? Like literally. You do realize that George Bush's grandfather was writing Hail Hitler, doing business with Germany. You do realize that, don't you? I mean, is it uncomfortable for you yet? Are you really ready to fucking start listening to something else? Because I'll tell you, you've been bamboozled. You've been lied to your whole life. And you know it. You know it. They ask you to sacrifice your time for your children by not spending any time with them. What kind of fucking thing is that? When my children were born, there was nothing I wanted to do more, and still nothing I want to do more than spend time with them all the time. Yeah, they get a little wild and you need a break, and you need a break from them, take the break. But from somebody who was forced to take a break from his kids for a long time, it's the most painful experience you will ever go through. There is no more painful experience on earth than being separated from your children. There's nothing more agonizing. There's nothing more soul-crushing. Because there's nothing greater than the love that a parent feels for their child. Nothing. There is no greater love than that. The love that a parent feels for their child. Oh, let's go to that chaos, Great Spirit, Holy Mother, who is our mother. We are her children. There is no love greater than her love for us. She's not going to let us get beat down by the New World Order. She's going to smack them the fuck up. Are you ready? Are you really prepared for the days to come? Now come back to that love that we have for our children, okay? So they're saying sacrifice your love and your time that you love and care for your children to go to a job that you don't like, and they go to school that you know is bullshit because you went through the same fucking bullshit school system that didn't prepare you for shit, but to be a comfortable slave. See the bamboozlement here? Can you feel it yet? Do you understand what I'm saying? You got time home with your kids now. I'll bet you you're thinking, yeah, this is actually pretty dope. All this fear aside, I love sleeping in. I love getting rest. I love having time to meditate. I love having the time to do the things that I really love to do. Now, maybe there hasn't been enough time for you to even remember what it is that you're here to do. Because that takes some time. You got to unlearn that way of life. You got to, you get conditioned to go to the job every week, to go to the job every day, to get the paycheck every day, to eat the same food all the time, to make a few little adjustments here and there. And then you get old, get retired, get sick, die. Thanks for your service. Get the fuck off of Earth. Then what? Then what? The afterlife? Is that what we're sacrificing our time here for, the job, for the ideal, for the afterlife? Be real with yourself here. You're spending time with your kids now. There's no greater gift than that. How long does it last? Do things get back to normal? Or does the totalitarian government come in and make everybody unquarantined and you got to go through checkpoints and people start dying by the millions? Getting back to normal, people dying by the millions. It's all still order. It's all the new world order, either way. Maybe a combo of both. Maybe, I don't know. But what I do know is that when the goddess strikes and that chaotic energy comes in, all those plans, all those ordered plans cease to be, because order can't exist in chaos, and chaos is a higher order than the new world order. It's chaos. It just looks chaotic. It's a higher form of order than the new world order, which is actually the no world order. That chaos that we're talking about is the true world order, or Neo, the new earth order. So let's get back down and around to our humanity. Ever since this scare has been out, I have never had a greater sense of peace, a greater sense of calm, a greater inner understanding of who I am, of my nature. All these years of studying, all these years of living it out, of being on a spiritual path that broke me down, that had me lose my mind, lose my sanity, only to discover my wholeness. I never planned on it. I didn't ask for it. It just happened to me. I'm grateful that it did. But now that this new world order and all this stuff is here that I've been studying about and hearing about for years and years and years, I find nothing but peace. I find nothing but sovereignty. I find nothing but wholeness and holiness and God and all of it. I hope that you take that time, if you haven't already. And if you are taking the time, keep taking that time to spend with God, with intimacy with God. Meditation, affirmation, prayer with God. Time alone with God is time alone with self. Privacy is a requirement of God. God requires you to have privacy. The exact opposite of posting all your feelings, all your thoughts, everything up online. The exact opposite of these smart devices here, and every word that we say, recording everything that we say, uploading it to databases. And that's a good point, right? Oh, Zin, this is just nature. Nature created this virus. We don't know what to do when people are racing. Science is going to save us eventually. We don't know if millions are going to die. We don't know, but the government's telling us some things and the media is telling us some things. That's just pretty good for me. All right. They wouldn't know what to do with something this crazy. They couldn't possibly imagine this scenario, even though they made movies about it. Even though there's books written about it and guidelines about it. I don't know. It's just a big accident. Things are just happening. That's how people are fucking acting right now. It's fucking stupid and ignorant to trust this shit. It's so fucking dangerous to trust what these motherfuckers are telling you. So fucking dangerous. How's it dangerous? Well, you're getting further and further away from God and closer to them, which is what they want. Where do you think all this data comes from? Like, I've been on Facebook since 2010, okay? 10 years, right? 10 long years of fuck Facebook. Fake book. All right? So for 10 years, just think about 10 years, how much data that Facebook alone has compiled on everybody, from the little likes to the little hearts to the little smiley faces to the articles that are shared to the way your fingers scrolls and what you slow down on, what you speed up, reading your retina at a rapid rate, reading your biorhythmic energy, seeing how people's moods are affected by stories that they post, the algorithms, the way that they work against you, and the way they data mine and the way they collect all this shit. Like, they're using that information. They know how you're going to react. They know how the public's going to react to any given thing. Trust and believe they know how everybody's going to react to what they're saying right now. It was designed that way. You didn't ever see The Matrix? Just the first one. Fuck the other two. Just the first Matrix. You never saw that? And it didn't like, you didn't watch that and go, damn, that shit's hitting close to home. That was in 99 when that movie came out, or 98 or whenever it was. It came out a long time ago. 20 some odd years ago now. You don't remember watching The Matrix for the first time being like, damn, that shit's hitting close to home. That feels real to me. Wow. I do. Ever since I saw that movie, like, yep, that's what it is. Perfect analogy, great story. Perfect analogy of what it is. The matrix that we're living in. All this data that they've been collecting on all of us. They know how to use it. They're doing it for a reason. You feel it yet? You've been bamboozled. Bamboozled. But this is where God is so great. All right? Let's just start there now. All that was just the window dressing. All that was just setting the table. Just get people to start thinking a little bit about the current situation that we find ourselves in. Let's go to God. Guiding our direction. G-O-D. Guiding our direction. God. Oh, feel so good. I feel so good in my spirit because God is walking as me. Working through me. So grateful to be your child. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Every morning, every night, thanking God. The great event, the great spirit, the love that created us. Our ancestors walking with us, strong and proud. Speaking of our ancestors, while we were shooting the You Will Never Forget video, Son One's new video, we were standing right where Martin Luther King spoke the I Have a Dream speech, his freestyle into existence, speaking hip hop into existence, standing right there. Oh man, I was standing right there just a week ago. Standing right where the King stood, feeling his energy. I got on my knees. I felt the earth. I prayed over him back then. Was feeling his spirit. My whole spine just ignited. Feel that kundalini, you know? It just be rising up. Walking with the King. The King talked about the day of the Lord. The day of the Lord is now here. And what is the Lord? Who is the Lord? Well, metaphysicians, the Lord means law, not man's law, universal law. Universal law will smack the shit out of man's law because man's law is temporary, finite, and flawed. Universal law is infinite and perfection. And the easiest thing that we can do is at this very moment, check our soul and get in tune with universal law, that no matter what happens when the chaos hits man-made law, we're already in the higher perfection, in the higher order, in the true world order, in universal law. That's our home, our own. That's the kingdom of heaven, or as we call it in the gospel of hip hop, the inner city. It's always here. It's always ever present. And all it does is just take a little shift of the dial to change the station. And then allow all of the other things that just to fall off that you don't need in your life. The truth is, we don't need them. We don't need their fake ass order. We don't need their systems. Inherently built into humanity, we already know how to so-called govern ourselves. I was just talking about this the other evening. I wish that this system just shut down. It would be like 6 months of people fighting and bickering and boom, 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 but we would all fall back into our natural order. A year from now, if the system just shut down, a year from now, 2 years from now, we would already have established back into our natural order of things. If somebody just turned off the government, police didn't go to work, none of that shit, all the payments stopped, all the taxation stopped, all of their dumb shit stopped, all the pollution just stopped, all the factories stopped. Yeah, people would die. Sucks, right? That's what reincarnation's for. You come back to a better place. I mean, would you rather go through that or than putting a microchip up your ass and telling you got to be a robot? Stay at home, go to work, do what we fucking tell you. You don't need the government, and that's why they spend all this money to make you afraid that you're going to lose it in some kind of Armageddon or some kind of apocalyptic event. All these movies is about, what if the government stopped working? Man will fall into chaos, turn into barbarism. Not the superior man, not the superior woman, not the man and woman of great and holy spirit. We have written in our DNA a natural, higher, divine, universal law and order that we would naturally harmonize into. Turn off all these computers, turn it all off. Within a year or two, we would be well balanced back into that. It would just happen, and the life loss wouldn't be as high as you think. The dangers would not be as scary as you think. People inherently are geared towards consciousness and love. It's this system that got everybody fucked up. And then we think because the system got everybody fucked up, that people are just born fucked up. No, the system's what's fucking them up. Turn off the system, people ain't going to be fucked up. God guiding our direction, G-O-D, God through you and God through me. God is real. Their shit is fake. They got a fake ass pro wrestling Hall of Fame, do nothing actor playing a role in the White House. Fake. God is real. Government is fake. Motherfuckers are fake, faker than a plastic breast. Fake. It's really not that hard to get where we actually need to go, but we got to start changing our mind. I've been saying it for a long time. Are you really prepared for the days to come? Are you? What does that mean? I mean, what are we really getting prepared? We stocking up on guns? We stocking up on food? We stocking up on shelter stuff? Yeah, a little bit. But remember, whatever you can hoard away on earth can be stolen, can be taken away. Dudes out there, organic farming. Oh, I'm ready for the apocalypse. Yeah, when roving gangs come up to steal your farm and food. But see, that's what I'm talking about. Everybody's there's us not having control of our resources, us not having control of our God-given earth, of our God-given why we were born here, of our God-given sovereignty, of our God-given wholeness, of our God-given divine right to exist. Imagine, just like in a movie, you wake up one day and discover that you're not just a toilet cleaner, that you're the sole heir of the kingdom. You're cleaning toilets, but you're the sole heir of the kingdom. We are heirs of the kingdom of heaven. All right, hip hop, now is our time. Now is your time, hip hop. The world is distracted by itself. Hip hoppers, now is your time. Look how divine this is aligning. 2021 is our next age of light. So of course, 2020 is going to be darkest before the dawn. The new dawn is coming. 2021 is going to be darkest before the dawn. The dawn. This is how you know the divinity of hip hop. Hip hop will wake up. It's darkest before your dawn. Hip hop already knew that this was coming. We're just leaving the dark age. 2011 to 2021. Darkest before the dawn, the new age of light. The new light age is coming next year. Just hold on. Be still and do nothing. Master your element. Master your craft. Master yourself. SELF. Source, energy, life, force. Big up to Minister Simone. Self. Source, energy, life, force. Hip hop, but master yourself. Got some music there. Just kicked on. And that's what I want to bring to the reading for the gospel of hip hop, all right? Just a paragraph. Nothing crazy. Because they've got plans for you right now. Whether that's the whole new world order agenda, microchipping everybody, or just to get your ass back to work and happy that your kids are in their bullshit school system. Both those scenarios, whichever one it's going towards in these next few weeks, these next few months, this next year, whichever direction it's going to, that's their plan for you. That's not God's plan for you. That's the fake ass motherfucker's fake ass plan for you. For the illusion that you're somehow part of it. You're not. God's plan, God's wholeness, that's who we really are. Rejoice. Rejoice in the Lord. Rejoice in her mercy. Rejoice in his grace. Rejoice in her eternal presence. She got plans for you. Wouldn't you like to know what those are? Wouldn't you like to be in alignment with that? And not these stupid motherfuckers that call themselves a government? All of them. Democrats and Republicans. Same shit, different pile. This gospel, paragraph 285, in the fifth overstanding, the inner city, paragraph 17, page 285. I'm going to read paragraph 17 and 18. This gospel is now in your presence because obviously it is time that you turned up the volume on your own spiritual life, on your own dreams, on what is important to you. However, you've been waiting for everyone else to understand what you understand and see what you see for too long, and they're not seeing it yet. But you must not give up on yourself or give up on the reality of your own spiritual experiences. Obviously, you see and sense something more than yourself, something greater than yourself. You feel that your nature is divine. You feel that. That's who we really are. That's who you really, really are. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you and give you permission. I could give it to you, but it's meaningless. Embrace it. Take it for yourself. Reclaim your divinity. Reclaim your divine birthright. And check it out and watch this. Watch how great God is. Right here. This is prophecy too. Others have laughed at you, ridiculed you, and have even conspired against you. But you've also seen their plans fail completely, or never reach the full magnitude of what such plans intended. In truth, it is your very nature that protects you and guides you. Others have laughed at you, ridiculed you, and have even conspired against you. But you've also seen their plans fail completely. It's a conspiracy. They're conspiring against you and your children. But we always see their plans fail completely, or their plans never reach the full magnitude of what such plans intended. I've had so many people conspire against me, and whatever their plans were fail completely, never reach the magnitude of what they intended. Hip hop, it's the same thing for us. People of spirit, people of God, men and women, it's the same thing for us. They have conspired against us, but we're going to see their plans fail completely. And know that. That's how you live outside of the fear paradigm that they're trying to create. That's how you see clearly. That's how you know your peace and your prosperity is ever present. Everything is always something else. This is time that you've got that you haven't had for a long time to get right with God, to get right with the Creator. I don't know what name you call God. Whoever's hearing this, I don't know. I call God the great event, the great spirit, love. There is no name to describe the force and my divine Father and really my divine mother. She loves me so much. She loves you so much. If you're a parent and you know the love you have for a child, that's just your portion of that love. Imagine that love that every parent in the world feels for their child all at once. The magnitude of God's love. You think some new world order is going to fucking stop that? No, never. Never has, never will. God is the only thing real going on daily, G-O-D, going on daily in our life. Oh, by the way, for those of you who may not see my other videos, I'm reading from a book called The Gospel of Hip Hop, the First Instrument, presented by our teacher, KRS-One, to the Temple of Hip Hop. Every Wednesday night, we read from this book, myself and Minister Son One. We're both ministers of the Temple of Hip Hop. We read from this book on a Zoom conference call. As long as we got the internet access, I don't know when it's going down. I don't know. Maybe it goes down soon. Not the Zoom message. We're going to keep those going. But with everything going on in the world, there's talks that they're going to shut the internet down, or going to be really limited access to what you can watch and do on the internet. So be mindful of this, okay? Be mindful of this. Be mindful. They say tomorrow's not given. Yeah, it is. If you die, that doesn't mean there's no tomorrow. That means your tomorrow is somewhere else, in another place, in the spirit realm. Tomorrow is promised. For real, like you have it tomorrow. Even those who leave this body tonight and they call it death, there's a tomorrow for them. It's a better tomorrow than the one they're experiencing right now, I'll tell you that. There's a tomorrow for everybody. A great tomorrow, a great Hosanna. Greatness in the future. You've been giving up on your dreams for so long. You've put them aside, waiting for other people to see them, waiting for other people to tell you that it's okay. Quit the fucking job. You don't need it. They're overcharging everybody just to keep you working. It's not because everybody, oh, there's this mass scramble. There's not enough land and enough houses. There's so many fucking empty houses out there. All these foreclosed homes. There's empty homes everywhere. Everybody could have a free home. Everybody should have a free home. What's your purpose in life? Why are you here? You've been given this one life. It's a gift. This life is a sacred gift. It's a sacred present from God. This miracle that we've been lulled into sleep by the lies and the lying liars who tell them. Enough. Do not enable that lie anymore. Today I will not enable that lie. And what is the lie? The lie is that you are finite. No, you are infinite, my friend. You are infinite. Your consciousness is infinite. Our consciousness is infinite. Sure, it turns into a higher form or a more vast form, but it's infinite. We're infinite beings. And this time here on earth is a very, very special and sacred time. It's a gift for us to experience our finite self so we can know our infinite selves. We wouldn't know our infinite selves without our finite self. You have a divine mother, love. You are love itself in the human form. In the human form as you know it, as an I am, with a name, Zin Uru. The way that all of these molecules are assembled right now won't be here forever. Just like this book will someday turn to dust. Maybe 100 years, maybe 10,000 years, depending on the way it's preserved. This book that I'm holding in my hand right here, this very copy of it. However, the words are eternal. The essence of who I am is eternal. The essence of who you are is eternal. Now, the book of life, the flesh, the holy temple, yeah, we're going to leave sometime. But we don't, the exercise. When you think a word, you hear it in your head. Okay, let's do the exercise. If you haven't done this, this is the one the teacher taught me. Teaches everybody. On the count of 3, say the word love to yourself. Don't say it out loud. Just say it in your head. In the count of 3, say the word love. 1, 2, 3. Okay, one more time. The count of 3, say love. 1, 2, 3. Now, what just happened is you heard a voice say the word love, but you didn't use your mouth. You heard the word love, but you didn't use your ears. Now, if you don't need your mouth and ears to speak and hear the word love now, what makes you think you need them when you leave this body? That's you. That's the invisible you. That's the invisible spirit that's just housed in this body right now, that's housed in this temple. Is that what you're afraid of losing? You're afraid of losing the temporary housing? Let me tell you, there's a greater reality than this. This is a seed. And one day we leave this. The spirit leaves this seed and grows into a greater tree. That's the tree of life. That's what your sacred being is for. And each one of us has a purpose here on earth. And the purpose is not to go to work and go to some bullshit school and send our kids to some bullshit school that doesn't even know how to teach. I am so shocked how many people, which is like everybody in my generation, the Generation X, who knows school was bullshit, sends their kids to that same bullshit. And where is the disconnect there? What is the cognitive dissonance that's happening there? That you're sending a child, your child, whom you love more than anything itself. You actually know God through the love that you feel for your child. That feeling is God. The love you have for your child, and you're going to stick him in the same bullshit that you were part of, that you knew was bullshit while you were going there, that you knew you didn't get anything out of while you were going there, college fucking included. Well, college is expensive. We can't afford to give everybody free college. You just gave everybody fucking 12 years of free school. How you can't give people free fucking college? And why can't kids learn about shit that actually matters to living? Learn about themselves. Learn how to be better human beings. Learn the art of communication. Learn the arts. Learn to plant and grow food. Learn the art of peace. Learn the art of love. The fucking bullshit, the lies in the history books alone that they're teaching your kids right now. Why do you even fucking want them in that bullshit? And you're afraid they're going to take that away from you, or some fucking virus is going to take that away from you? Let it. That shit's garbage. Send your kids to these fucking institutions. What, to get some bullshit job that they hate just as much as you hate the job that you got? Why? Because that's just the way things are done? Come on. We know that's not the metaphysics of reality. Start speaking a higher reality into existence. This is why I'm preaching hip hop all the time. That's why I'm living this. That's why I know this is the truth. This is pointing to a reality that's already around us. This isn't creating the reality. This is already just acknowledging something that already exists all around us. The hand of God was in hip hop, is in hip hop everywhere. Before it was ever written down and even known, it was just being. Hip-hopia, hip-hop city. Come on. Let's go. Let's do this in our lifetime. Let this fucking system, let chaos just come in and wipe this system out, and let's build from that. God is real. God is the only thing going on daily that's real. Everything else is an illusion. For real, for real. Today's the 23rd of March. Let's just see what the daily freestyle is in closing. Let me see what time it is. Oh yeah, it's March 23rd now. Want to see divinity? March 23rd. What kind of advice could they possibly give when they really haven't lived in the places we've lived? Nobody can say shit to me because they haven't lived where I've lived. They haven't experienced what I've experienced. That's how I can speak with passion. And that's why I can speak my soul. And that's why I can speak about this, that I know, because I know who I am and I know why I'm here. I know what my purpose is. I'm self-created, self-activated, self-awoken. Yes, I had guides along the way. Yes, I had the mighty teacher assist me in that process, but I had to do the work. I had to wake up. What kind of advice could anyone possibly give you when they haven't really lived in the places that you've lived? They haven't done what you've done. They haven't experienced what you've experienced. What kind of advice can they give you? Nobody's going to tell me what's going on in the world. The news? You gonna tell me the news is telling you the truth? When those motherfuckers been lying from day one, they've never, ever in the history of the news told the truth. That's what they do. They lie. They make shit up for their agenda, for their plan, for their purpose. You ain't gonna tell me shit. What kind of advice could they possibly give when they really haven't lived in the places we've lived? All right? I'm living in the inner city. I've been living in the kingdom of heaven. What kind of advice can they give me when they haven't lived there? They can't give me shit. I'm living in the kingdom of heaven right now. It's everywhere I go. Every moment in the kingdom of heaven. Everywhere I am. The kingdom of heaven. Not poetry, like reality itself. Not some kind of mystical place that's out of reach and hard to understand and hard. No, it's really here, all around me, everywhere I go. I live in the kingdom of heaven. How's anybody else going to tell me who doesn't live in the kingdom of heaven what that experience is like, or what else I should be experiencing, or how I should be interpreting events? You know? Gospel hip hop. (2020) Hip Hop Appreciation Week, May 17th to May 24th. Our theme this year is vision. The vision is going to carry us into 2021, in the age of light. The 20-year anniversary of the Hip Hop Declaration of Peace. May 16th, 2001. We declared hip hop an international culture of peace and prosperity. Hip hop culture is already recognized by the United Nations as an international culture of peace and prosperity. The Hip Hop Declaration of Peace, May 16, 2001. May, June, July, August, September. 4 months before 9/11. While they were plotting their new world order, we had already declared our true world order. We are ahead of them in every way. We are smarter. God is smarter than they are. God is faster than they are. We are so far ahead of the so-called Illuminati. We have it figured out. Don't be afraid of losing them. When all this gets back to some form of normalcy, this whole psyop, you'll find out, was just to get you to cling more to the government, or try and get you to. Don't do it. Cling to God. Cling to your nature. Cling to your ancestors. Reach out to your ancestors. Believe in your ancestors more than you believe in the government. Most people believe in the government. Most people believe the government is more powerful than God. That's what I wanted to say in closing. It's almost an hour and 20 minutes just talking. I want to thank you all for taking the time to check out the video. A little more intense than I usually talk. Definitely more intense probably than my next 3 or 4 videos will be. But sometimes you've just got to speak the truth and let them know that it's bullshit. Like if you see your brother about to fall off a cliff, are you going to be like, psst, hey, don't fall off the cliff? I didn't want to disturb you from falling off the cliff. No, you're going to be like, yo, get the fuck away from the cliff, bro. Step away from the cliff. You're going to yell it out. That's how you save somebody you love. You got to say the shit, you know. Be mindful of what's going on in the world. This shit's all planned. Nothing's going crazy. This shit's not happening by accident. It's all planned. The Simpsons predicted it. There's a patent on the virus. A patent. Somebody created it in a laboratory. You say, oh, science is going to fix what the religions can't. Science created the bullshit fucking thing in the first place. They got to fix it. Not real science. Fake science. Create some fucking killer virus in a fucking lab. Then they patent it and then they release it on the public. And then they want the public, like, problem, reaction, solution, you know? Nah. Don't fall for it. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Word up. Y'all feel me? You feel that love in your heart, intimacy with God? Let's just take a moment to just tune in. Let's take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. One. 2. This third one, give it a good stretch on the exhale. Inhale. Just tune into your heart. Tune into the center, into the heart chakra. Just feeling this frequency, feeling this vibration, feeling its warmth, feeling that warm heart. Just feeling that energy now move down through the abdomen, down through the root, down through the legs, down through the earth's crust, wrapping its deep roots around the heart of Mother Earth, the loving heart of Mother Earth. Feeling that energy rising back up through the roots, that warm energy back up through the legs, up through the root of your body, up to your abdomen, up to your heart, up through the throat, up through the shoulders, out the arms, just feeling that powerful energy of life, that invigorating, healing energy of life, up through the throat, up through the mouth, through the face, the nose, the nostrils, the brain, the back of the head, the third eye, all the way up into the crown, pouring up and out of the crown and cascading over, surrounding the body in 6 feet in all directions, a perfectly harmonized space of full healing protection of Creator's unconditional love. And feeling that, now sealing that all, feeling your protection, 6 feet in all directions, divine protection, divine holiness within, finding that peace and that prosperity now with who you are, self-acceptance for who you are now, grow from where you're planted now. God is ever present, always with you, as you, through you. You are love, and you are loved, and there it is.